Hello beautiful farmers. In today's video I want to share with you guys factors that could affect your birds not to grow very well. So I've shared with you guys factors that could make them to grow, things that you need to consider, put in place that will make them to grow very well, and some previous video. So I encourage you to check those out, and maybe in future time I will still do more videos about what you need to do to make your birds to grow well. I will emphasize on that so that lots of people will get to know what to do to make their birds grow well. So why am I making this video? I'm making this video as a result of a complaint a friend of mine made over the weekend. There was a batch of birds I bought from this same hatchery, this M1 Victory hatchery, that he said that they didn't do well. His initial complaint was that some of them were growing bigger than the others. So, and I know for sure that the numbers of feeders you give to your birds will also affect, and most times these birds will not all grow evenly. So but for you to be able to achieve an even sizes when they are growing, you need to give them more feeders. Like in my own case here, when these guys were coming up, I gave them lots of feeders during brooding, and even up till 3 days ago. Not until yesterday I withdrew one of the feeders. That's because of I was in an emergency situation. I just needed to give another set of birds I have somewhere else feed. So that's why I just took off that feeder with the feed inside of it. So I didn't want to go the stress of fixing up a new one, as in to couple them, because I have some feeders that have just been washed, disinfected, that I need to couple them, so I didn't want to pass through that stress. So I just took out one of the feeders. So I then realized that within that yesterday and today, there are about some few of them that are bigger than some. Yes, that's because of those ones that are bigger are the ones that are stronger. So you make sure that you have enough feeders in your pen. Like these birds now, they need 2 extra feeders in here. But why am I not bringing more feeders? That's because of I intend to move them from this space to a different location. I'll be showing you guys the different space we have been moving these birds to in the as we proceed. So that's why I will encourage you to watch this video till the very end. So these guys, this evening I'll be moving them to a different space because I intend to brood another batch in here the next few days. So I'll be bringing another set that will be coming here, because why am I using this space for brooding? Because of it's very close to me where I can easily monitor the birds very well to check how they are doing. Because while brooding, you need to monitor your birds diligently to make sure that they are doing amazingly well. So I'll be taking off these guys from here to a different space where I do keep birds too, so that they will be coming up there. So I've been able to sell about 35 of them, the broilers, and even more of the gnawers. So the gnawers I have in here should be around 25 or 20. Lots of them have been going out because the gnawers I'll be selling them off as after brooding. So at some point I realized that the space for the broilers was too small, and I didn't want to go occupy the whole pen space, so I just open up and mix them all together. So but it's ideal for you to keep your gnawers and broilers differently, because the gnawers will be feeding on starter till even when they get to even 6 weeks. Yes, even 6 weeks you can still give them starter till that point, because their pace of growth is quite slower than the broiler. So you can still give them starter till when they get to 6 weeks, whereas the broilers you'll be giving them finisher once they hit 3 weeks old. So that's why it's not so ideal to mix them up. But I'm mixing them up because of the availability of space that I have in here, and coupled with the fact that most of them will be going out, so they are quite few. If you look very well, there are few of them here, and more of them will still be going out. There are about 4 of them here. I can easily count them, so there are just very few of them left over. So let's dive down into the essence of today's video. The issues that can affect the way your birds grow. One could be the source of your birds. Yes, one could be the source of your birds. If you don't bring in good DOC, that's good day old chicks, there's every tendency that they will not grow well. Then secondly, how did you brood them? The way you brood them, the way you take care of them also will affect their pace of growth. Then thirdly, the quality of feed that you give to your birds will also affect them. So like this particular birds from M1 Victory Farm, the very first time I brought in these birds, I make sure that I follow up all procedures to make sure that these birds will come out well. And they did amazingly well. I did another batch and they came out successfully. Even the third one, they came out well. On the fourth one that I bought from them that I used in my own farm, that's when I experienced the Newcastle attack when they were 2 weeks old. So I later asked myself, why did these birds come down on Newcastle? Could it be the force from the hatchery, or could it be from my own end, or maybe the vaccine? Because I give them Lasota. After giving them Lasota, that's when I started experiencing mortality. So, from my analysis, I realized that the way the Lasota was administered to them would have been an issue, because at some point I was a bit skeptical of going to that same vendor to get Lasota vaccine for this particular set of birds. But I told myself, in fact, I delayed even these birds. I even delayed them till about on the 12th day. That's when I gave them Lasota. I have not even given them Gomboro. They are doing amazingly well. So I gave them only Lasota, no Gomboro, and I don't intend of giving them any Gomboro. In fact, there will be 3 weeks by tomorrow. After this week, they can't come down on any illness as a result of not giving them Gomboro. So, but Newcastle is something I know is very important for them. So that's why I gave them Lasota, so that they don't come down on Newcastle, to immunize them of the Newcastle attack. So, how you administer your vaccine to your birds will also affect their pace of growth, because if there's an outbreak of viral disease in the farm, there's every tendency to affect the growth. In fact, not if there's every tendency, if there's an outbreak of viral attack in your farm, it's going to definitely affect the way your birds grow. Then another thing again is the quality of water. What's the quality of water that you give to your birds? Do you wash your feeders and your watering cans and water trough regularly? Yes, like I use nipple drinker. Cleaning this nipple drinker sometimes can be very tricky if you don't understand how to clean them. But I try to make sure I follow all my procedures diligently. And that's part of the reasons why I don't give my birds too much of medication, so that there will not be too much of clocking inside of the nipple lines, So I give them fresh water, so that over time, the fresh water will tend to flush the system, the nipple lines, and also flush the system of the birds too as well. So the quality of water you give to your birds will also affect the temperature of your pen. Is your pen ventilated enough? Is it too hot or too cold for the birds? Once the birds hit about 4 weeks, they will not be affected by much cold, especially from our region. Because in West Africa, we do not experience that extreme cold that's going to affect broiler chicks, especially when they have hit 4 weeks plus. So I will encourage you to make sure that you follow up on all the procedures diligently, to make sure that your birds grow well. So do not make the mistakes of giving your birds dirty water, or starving them of water. Maybe every now and then the water gets to run out, or maybe you want to make some economy on the quality of feed that you give to your birds. Like this particular birds, I gave them Breedwell starter, and they are doing amazingly well. I didn't want to do any economy or trying to mix up feed, because mixing of feed at some point is not too good with birds. Yes, because some of the ingredients are quite different, so their system might take a little while to get to adjust. But then yes, I've done mixing of feed over time, over the past, and it didn't really affect my birds. But in this particular batch, I told myself that I will not mix them. I will just give them from this particular thing. Yes, getting this Breedwell feed is quite expensive in my area, but then I had to follow through with it, and these birds are doing amazingly well. So like I said, you follow up on your procedures very well, and check yourself if at any point you have made mistakes in the way you raise your birds, for you to be sure that if the fault is not from your own end, it is from the hatchery. Because it's quite easy for people to take the blame to another person. There was one certain time I was having a series of coccidosis in my farm. I treated these birds of coccidosis almost 2 weeks straight, and I was still seeing the symptom. Then when I went to a veterinary shop, they were like, during so period, birds from a particular hatchery, we are having that challenge. Yes, there's every tendency that birds from a particular hatchery might have a challenge as a result from the hatchery they are coming from. But we need to do our due diligence check. And remember, during that period, I was not using this nipple drinker. I was using the normal drinkers. And during that period, it was during the rainy season, where the weather seems to be a bit cold and damp. So when the weather is cold and there's any dropping of water on this litter, it tends not to dry quickly. And when that water stays there, and coupled with the fact that if you don't clean their litters regularly, their stool will now form some bacteria stuff on the litter, and whenever they pick it as food, these things are animals. There's every tendency they might pick something on the floor, thinking it as food, and they swallow it, and those bacteria of coccidosis start building up in their system. That's why you need to make sure that your place is very hygienic, your farm is very hygienic, and you buy feeds from reliable source. Because yes, there are some feeds that you buy from some feed mill, from some commercial feeds, and start giving you unnecessary issues. So sometimes when you experience challenge like that, you just switch your feed. and see to a high quality feed, another high quality feed. Even if you're using a particular brand of feed that is a high quality, you switch to another brand of feed that is also high quality too, and see the difference and see how well your birds will do. So sometimes you not just put the blame on the hatchery or on one end. So check yourself, do some analysis, critical analysis. Check your source of water, check your feed, because what source of water, feed, and the way you brooded your chicks will also influence how well your birds will do well for you. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I encourage you to just smash the like button or the subscription button so that you get to see our video when next we post a new video. So thanks for watching this far, and bye for now.